Hey guys, what is up today? This is Dalsu with Dalsu Plays, back with something brand new for you today. Something quite fabulous, something quite wonderful indeed. Planetbase. Been watching a lot of my favorite Let's Players do this game recently. It is a brand new release, and I thought, what a better time to get in on the action and do my own Planetbase Let's Play. I have experimented with this game for about an hour and a half, and I had a fantastic time. It is a base building, kind of resource management game in which you're tasked with colonizing a new planet, kind of like Banished meets, sci-fi. It does have a lot of different mechanics and stuff like that, which I'm still learning, but it seems like a very simple game on the surface that kind of belies a more complex structure underneath that is very hard to master. I'm having a great time with it. I think it's like $15 on Steam right now. There was a sale. I think it might be $20 if you're watching this a couple days later. But anyway, so far it seems to be worth it. I've only put a couple hours into it. But I thought it would be a great time to share it with you guys. Now, like I said, I did practice a bit so I wouldn't seem like too much of an idiot. But there will be things I didn't understand. There will be mistakes I'm making. So if you're playing along, feel free to leave me advice. I always cherish the advice of my viewers, but hope you won't rage at me for making kind of rudimentary mistakes. It is the kind of game where you have to be really thoughtful about what you build and where you build, because there are several things that can go horribly wrong in an instant, and I think the game discourages you from getting too cocky. A lot of base building games, you get to a certain point and you're just running the show, but in this game you have to kind of resist that temptation and keep yourself honest. So we have here our colonists, and there are various different specializations. We have biologists who grow food, engineers who do buildings and repairs, and then you have some base workers who just do, I think they're the blue. And then you have robots also that will do stuff for you. Now you can't actually pause the game, so you got to just kind of get started. I hope they add a pause button, because it does require some thought, like what you're going to do. So first thing we need to do is get them established with some oxygen. And again, I would love to pause the game and be able to pan around and see kind of what my building strategy is going to be, but you can't pause the game. You got to kind of just jump. So that adds a little bit of urgency to it. I'm not sure if that was deliberate or not. But what I'm going to do first is a solar panel and a water extractor. So let's get that done. And now, is there any particular place we should do it? I'm thinking maybe in here would be fine. Now, you have to make sure that all of your buildings are connected. Now, that's what makes it kind of difficult. So, for example, I built this solar panel. I can connect something to it. And that's probably going to be a water extractor, like out here. And we'll just have these connected. Now, connecting them also costs resources. So, basically, we're trying to get set up right now for oxygen. It's good to read these. The tutorials are actually really well done. I've already read most of them, though, so I won't bore you with all that text. Got to keep an eye on your resources, because you have metal and bioplastic that's used to build buildings. Now, if you run out of that stuff, it could be really bad. I think what we want next is the oxygen generator. I'm going to put my oxygen generator, I wish I could do it over here, but I guess I'm kind of stuck with doing it. Here's what I can do. I'm going to do a battery. This is a power collector. And then we'll kind of start our proper base in here, because we want to have a lot of room, a lot of open space to be able to kind of build the things the way we want it. So we definitely need this. Let's go and connect it together so they'll start working on it. And then from there, we'll probably just do an oxygen thing like here. That's going to produce oxygen. It's going to use the water and the power to produce oxygen. We're also going to need a wind turbine, because basically this, obviously the solar panel is not going to work at night, right? So we need one of these. Now that's pretty cheap. So I think I'm going to go ahead and queue that up. We got to keep an eye on our steel, or metal. We don't want that to run out. Eventually we're going to be able to mine our own, but it is going to take some time to get that all set up and running. I'm thinking I'll do my airlock somewhere like here, and then the mine will be right out. I like to put the mine and some of this stuff right outside of the airlock. You have to keep in mind that all this stuff has to be maintained by engineers. So he's got to go in and out of the airlock, fix stuff, and then we'll put a mine here, and the miners also have to go in and out. So it's fairly, it requires a little bit of thought. Only thing is we just don't seem to have enough engineers. Where's the engineer? He's over here, see? You have one engineer and one builder bot at the start. So sometimes it takes a little bit of patience when you're trying to get things built. So the main thing we're trying to provide first is O2, oxygen. So we're also going to need an airlock to allow people to come in and out. We need to do that kind of immediately. It's a little bit urgent. All right, so I'm not going to be able to do it there for some reason. Right, I'm going to need to connect this before I can do that. It's kind of one of the things you got to remember. All right, so now we'll put it here. This is a good spot because it allows us easy access to our shuttle, which has a bunch of materials that we need. And this mountain over here is going to be great for a mine. So I'm pretty happy with that decision. I'd love you guys to get this built like really quickly so that everyone can go in and get some of that life-saving oxygen. We're at about half oxygen. We should be able to finish it. All these guys going in, they're going to bring all this stuff, and our constructor bot will probably do the deed for us, if not our engineer. Where's our engineer? I'm colorblind. That kind of hurts my ability to just see him right off the bat, but he's yellow. The biologist is like kind of lime green, and the medic is that like burgundy? Something like that. All right, we're almost there. We're almost there with the O2. Just gotta get this pathway built. Looks like the construction robot's gonna do that for us. Good deal. Okay, now at least we have oxygen. The next thing we need to get set up is food. So that's gonna be a somewhat complex process. Looks like our power's pretty good. You really have to keep an eye on power. It can run out rather quickly if you're not careful. So we have some stored, but probably not enough. Do we do one more solar panel? We'll hold off on one more solar panel because food, I think, is more important at this point. What we need is a canteen and a biodome. A biodome is going to grow the food. A canteen is going to be a place for people to eat. So what we'll do is we'll do a biodome off of the oxygen place. And then right off of that, we're going to want to do our canteen. I think it's fine if the canteen's here. We may do a connection between these two later. It looks like we can't. That is going to cost us 2 connections, but we'll have kind of our basic food processing up and ready once that gets built. I'm hoping it'll get built during the night. And I'm starting to get a little nervous about my power because in almost every game I've played so far in my practicing, I have run out of power rather quickly. Now, I'm not sure if we want to do another battery or maybe another... This guy's just not producing anything. The wind is variable as well, so you have to kind of mix between... Yeah, I think we're going to do another solar panel. What does the solar panel cost again? It's 2 to 7, right? So 2 is the base cost. You can also make it bigger, of course, if you wanted to. But right now, as we only have 23 steel, we probably don't want to mess with that. I don't know. We might be okay. Once these 2 buildings are up, it's going to cost a lot more power, I think, to run things. See, it's just barely trickling down. I think our wind generator, wind turbine, is producing just enough to kind of keep us steady. There you saw a meteor. They will smash into your buildings from time to time. One of the most important things to get set up is a mine, and also something to, create bioplastic, which is a starch. I'll explain all that as we go. Right now, we just want the biodome done. So we just need one more piece of steel. Keep calling it steel. It's just metal, really, but how's our power doing? Got to keep a close watch on that. Got 23 meals, so we got a ways to go before we start running out of food. And sometimes queuing up 2 things at once is not ideal, because then you get a division of labor like this, and it takes a little while to get it done. It's like he's going to bring the final puzzle piece over there. We're still waiting on 2 steel. It's not going to be long before we run out of building materials. So kind of the next thing I'd like to get set up is a mine. A dorm is also important. You can see they're really thirsty right now, but in the canteen we can put a water fountain which they'll be able to slake their thirst on. Excuse me. Just have a little coffee here. All right, guys, let's pick up the pace a little bit here. Chop, chop. I can turn up the speed, but every time I've turned up the speed in the past, it's had kind of negative results. Things got away from me. I'll just put it that way. I don't want things to get away from me this time. He's building that pretty fast. Where's my constructor bot? Why don't you work on the canteen, constructor bot, please? There we go. I know everyone's very thirsty. Just hold tight. Are you dangerously thirsty? Not really. You're just kind of base level thirsty. Alright, you're going to make the connections. Gotta make those connections. Where's my constructor bot? Okay, now he's going to do it. Yeah, so the first thing we'll put in this canteen when it gets connected is a water fountain. There are other things that need to be put in here as well, but everyone seems super thirsty, so I'm just going to tell them to do that right away. The second thing I will do is a table. I don't know, I might do a small table for the time being. I'm still not sure like what the TV does and the decorative plant does. It's a morale thing, but I haven't actually read the entry on morale yet. And you know, you have to bear with me if I do this real quick, because let's see, colonist status. Can we just type in something? Apparently not. Here we go, morale. This is a measure of the psychological health of a colonist. If it goes low, colonists will be less effective. Working and carrying around stuff decreases. Disasters impact morale. Larger populations. Leisure components. Video screens, bench, treadmill, exercise bar, plant, tree. Okay. So basically, yeah, sleeping, and so the TV and stuff would repair morale a little bit, but we won't have a problem with morale for a while. I don't want to spend my resources on that TV right now. We're going to kind of hold off. Mainly, I just want the water fountain because everyone's freaking thirsty. Having this table will also be nice, but you do need a third thing, which is a machine that transforms these plants. No, don't do that. Because we're going to plant some plants now. And I think I'm just going to do slow production and low... I see starchy plants are good because you can use them to make your bioplastic. But I think they take a little more effort. And also, they don't produce as much food. Fast production, high maintenance. Fast production, high maintenance. Hydroponic vegetable pad, yeah. These are kind of the base ones. Slow production, low maintenance. Right. So I think we'll start off with an onion pad and a radish pad because those are kind of low tech, kind of simplified things. So that'll give us a little bit of food that we can then come into here and use this machine, this meal maker, turn into food. And we'll be all nice and self-sufficient. Now you can see some other problem arising with these guys. They're starting to demand a place to sleep. We want to give you guys a place to sleep. But first, should we build another solar panel? I think we should. I do not want to get in that position again where I'm starting to run out of power. That's a big no-no. So I'm going to throw down a solar panel like right here. And I'm going to connect it to the network. That's going to take just 2 steel, is that right? I can afford 2 steel. It's about time to start thinking about a mine. Probably what I'll do at this point is recycle the colony ship. Although I don't have storage yet, so it might not be a good idea to do that. Huh. The only thing is I can't connect... I guess I could connect a mine to this. I think I can connect outdoor buildings. You can't connect an interior building to the airlock for obvious reasons. I mean, not 2 sides anyway. Okay, so we got kind of our base stuff up now. They still want a place to sleep, I realize, but... Alright, you know what? Do a dorm. Do it over here. I don't want it to dead end there, though. Dorm is a dead end. You can't have people walking through the dorm for obvious reasons, so you have to be a little bit thoughtful about where you place it, because There's no expanding off of the dorm. I think this is a good spot. I can always expand using other buildings down in this direction. I don't know, that would be a good spot for a mine as well. That's an expensive building. Alright, so are you working on this? Yes, please work on that. I'd like to have a lot of power, please. A new battery would also help prevent any problems. But at least we're going to have this battery filled up so that, you know, it should last for a while in an emergency. Okay, dorm is the next important thing, I think. And then from there, we jump into metal production, steel production. So let's look. We need a mine. I don't like the idea of people having to go all the way. Ideally, we'd put an airlock down here and then a mine just like right there. Do we want to do that? I don't think we want to do that. How much does a mine cost? 2. Okay. So even in order to make the mine effective, you need a processing plant. And then a factory. We could do a processing plant. Could we not? Yeah, we can. But it's not really doing it the way I want to do it. I don't think we're going to be able to reach this mountain realistically. So I think what we do is maybe a power collector. We're going to have to get rid of this. Recycle it. Okay. Now that stuff's going to go bad eventually if we don't protect it. We'll need a storage room. But it won't go bad, you know, soon, I don't think. So what we want is a power collector straight out. Trying to get this mine. Power collector. And now can we do a mine, please? It still wants to do it. See, I don't want people to have to come out, go all the way around, and go over there. We'll do another wind turbine. I know that this is a egregious use of resources, but we're gonna need all this stuff eventually. It's just we want to make sure we don't run out before we get our own kind of metal production up and going. What am I doing here? Yeah, wind turbine, right? And then from the wind turbine, we go straight to our mine over here. Right, you got to connect these first. And mine. Give me the mine. Give me the mine. No, you're still not going to let me do it, huh? Let's cancel that. And we need to go further out with it, I think is the problem. If we go all the way to here, now we should be able to get our mine, right? Come on, let me do it. Alright, it's not going to let me do it. I'm going to have to go all the way over here. Alright, so you know what? Cancel that. It's not going to work anyway. So yeah, that sucks. People have... Well, I guess it's not that far. If they just go straight away over there, then it's not that big a deal. We'll connect it to the grid there. How's our dorm turning out? Let's see. No beds, that's the problem. So let's give them just one bed for right now. Alright, I think that I'm happy with that for the time being. Everybody wants to sleep. We may need 2 beds. But that costs another bioplastic. Why is our bioplastic going up? That doesn't make sense. Okay, these guys are going to go build that. We got 2 batteries now. Feeling much better about things. But our food production is the main thing. This needs to be repaired, and we only have 1 engineer. We won't be able to get new engineers until we build a landing pad, which is unfortunate. Where is my engineer? He's probably been working. I know where he is. Where is he? My engineer. You're like the most important dude in the whole in the whole place, man. We need you. This must be him. No. He's over here. He's going to work on this, right? Construction bot, you're going to go work on this bed, I guess, probably. And then we're going to need a processing plant to turn this scrap into something we can use. Actually, we need 2 buildings to get the whole process done, because we need a special item to be able to repair our, various power collecting things. Engineer's coming back. Hopefully a worker's going to go do his deed in the mine, because otherwise it doesn't produce. I think everyone's just more interested in sleep than anything else right now, and we've used up our 20 minutes for the video, so thanks for watching. I'm very excited about this Let's Play as we continue on. If you see me doing anything questionable that you're not sure about, why don't you just leave me a comment, because I'm open to discussion about this. I'm by no means an expert. I just started playing, as I'm sure most of you did. And if you're new to the channel, I hope you'll like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Not that I'm doing this for, piles of riches or anything like that, but, I do appreciate people who support the channel. So thanks for that, guys, and I'll see you next time on Dalsu Plays Planetbase. See ya.